in white. Ooh, here it goes. The verification.
Go.
Right here, right now. Come on.
Please don't desync.
Okay, it's at least starting properly.
Okay.
That's usually a good sign.
Looks good so far, so. I'll be honest, I don't want to put on the sound of your stream because I don't want to listen to the terrible audio that is Yellow with TAS. I hated having to I'll put on one ear for now. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, the beginning of this is going to be identical to the main Yellow run, isn't it? Up until a certain point.
It's going to be identical up until the beginning of Route 2.
So for those not familiar, the reason we added a bunch of letters to the rival name and then deleted them is specifically for this cutscene right here where we're going to encounter Pikachu. When they coded this encounter, they didn't realize that the wild encounters rely on battle transitions that read from your first Pokemon's level, which you don't have any Pokemon right now. So it reads from undefined memory. The place it ends up having to read from happens to be the same place where the game stores temporary data when it's writing the rival name. So by writing data into the rival name and then deleting it, the deletion of the rival name doesn't delete that data, it just doesn't use it. So you can write data into the rival name, then delete it and affect the transition when you see Pikachu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then we get a really easy rival fight here. Will be very fun to watch.
And the reason that you're seeing holds during all of the buttons on the controller is that we haven't set our options yet because we don't want to set options until after the rival battle, because the animations are faster with animations on than with animations off when tackle is being used. Hey Snorms, welcome by the stream, dude. So we Gen 1 miss Growl, and then get hit by Tackle, where the Tackle animation is faster with animations on than with animations off. And now we can turn
Wait, those are Gen 1 miss. Those are Gen 1 miss growls?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's way faster to get that "but it failed" text than the
Yeah.
actual growl animation. And now I'm sure you're familiar with how to manipulate YOLO grass now. After manipulating all the grass through the whole game.
Oh yeah, it's pretty simple. Actually, funny enough, in my very final version of Victory Road, the majority of the first and the final area of it required no A presses, and then but in the middle areas it required a lot of A presses. And the funny thing is too that I started figuring out which specific A presses got rid of the encounters, and so I would just get rid of all the other A presses and just do that one on that frame and just be like, all right, less lag, thanks.
Haha, that's cool. And now we have to deal with earphone 3 for the rest of the run. So
all right, so if everyone doesn't want to put on their right ear, I understand.
What happens is when you open the options menu, if you press the left or right button the same frame you hit A to open options, that left or right press will be in memory as it's executing the code to display the options, and the loop to display the options is the same loop it uses when it's changing. So it's going through oh, there's a left button I need to pressed, I need to switch to the left. Oh, there's a left button pressed, I need to switch to through each of the options as they're printing. So you end up shifting all the options left or right, and this is way faster than manually going in and turning the options. But it has a side effect of turning the earphone setting to earphone 3 from mono, which is horrible, but it's faster, so. Also, you can always mix the signal down to mono in post.
Nah. That wouldn't be natural. And Kevin, I will let you explain the forest section. Well, the Caterpie and Pidgeotto part.
Oh, yeah. This will be fun. We used the same codebase that has been being used recently, StringFlow's Pokemon codebase, to do a botted encounter search for a Caterpie. And it needs to be a Caterpie specifically and not a Metapod because of Tackle, right? The Metapod, if you catch it at level 6, it doesn't know Tackle.
Mm-hmm. And in Yellow, there is a level 6 Caterpie you can get, which saves us quite a bit of trouble in the early game.
So you have to watch 2 evolutions in order to have an offensive move when you get a Butterfree. Other than Confusion.
Or other than Tackle, you mean?
Well, you could also like get a Metapod and swap train it with Pikachu, right? But that would suck.
That would take at least another 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So the first encounter here is a manipulated encounter for a nearly perfect Caterpie, which is very important because a nearly perfect stat spread on a Pokemon that's worse stats is like a huge percentage change in its effective stats.
Yeah, it's 15, 14, 14, and 15 with 9 HP DVs. So, very solid.
And now here, we manipulated after that. We chained another manipulation of a Pidgeotto encounter, which is extremely useful because Pidgeotto is a crap ton of experience. The single Pidgeotto here is as much experience as killing both of the Caterpies from the first bug catcher that you usually fight in an RTA speedrun. Though I haven't ran Yellow since the new strat where you manipulate almost all of Forest and fight a different trainer.
I didn't know that has that been since what's it called? Since like Mayish?
Yeah.
Okay, then I haven't watched it yet either.
Sadly, when you do a wild encounter, the red bar effect does not help the end of the battle in Yellow. So, like the level up and then some of these jingles here, like all those jingles were not in red bar. But now we'll be fighting trainer battles for all of our experience, so.
This fight and the next fight are the beginning of the insanity that is this run. So we have to get string shot fails. And I think there's 1 or 2 tackles in here. And we have to keep getting crits. And I believe the crits were... what was it? I don't remember what the rolls were.
Well, Caterpie has very low base speed, so it's like critting a tackle is with the high roll is super rare. Like finding all of these is insane.
The crit roll that you need to get was 20 or below. For Butterfree itself was 35 or below. So it was no more than... Your Metapod was 20 out of everything. 20, yeah.
This is such a meme. This is insane. Why are
Oh yeah, this was 5 max roll crits here.
Oh my god.
Yep. Tackle times 5 max crit rolls, then 1 normal tackle.
That's so insane.
Along with string shot fails.
And we're
that's
not even
fight, by the way.
We're not even Butterfree yet after all that.
Oh, don't worry, it gets worse. So here, Kevin also manipulated a Pidgey so that we could YOLO ball it and use it as our flyer for the whole game, which is wonderful. And the next fight actually isn't as bad It's like the calm before the storm. Because then we get the worst fight in existence. And I do not think that there could be another TAS out there, well, Metapod %, that could be as bad as this. So this is just 5 max crit tackles, so 1 out of 39 ranges, while also getting some tackle misses and string shot misses. Yeah, this whole beginning is just.
It's
I'll be
just
honest,
a
just kinda
massive
slow.
meme. It's the
Yeah,
it's memes piled on top of other memes.
exactly. And the best part is we're not even level 9 yet.
At least the next fight doesn't have any tanky Pokemon. Lol.
No. It's got some squishy Pokemon like Diglett and stuff. Let's see. Let me find it's in this channel, so in
Hey, SmackDown Soup. Ranger Squid, the guy co-commentating today, is the main author of this task, but I had to do a lot of preparatory help with the this section here, getting through Lightyear Guy.
If you want a oh my gosh, I can't words. This fight itself, the Lightyear Guy fight, the entire fight is about 1,179 out of a number in the duodecillions.
Fun.
And I'll be honest, I don't remember where it is. So
At that point, you just gotta say like 1 in 10 to the 22, or if it's 1,000, it's like approximately 1 in 10 to the 19.
Yeah, roughly about that. 1 in 10 to the 19. This fight straight up took me a month and a half altogether because I also rage quit for about a month of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, Kevin, I need help, please. Yes.
Yeah, this task, like, just imagine this is Dream playing Minecraft.
No, he just submits a run to Pokemon Yellow. This is his run.
Yes. This is what it would look like if Dream played Pokemon Yellow.
But guys, my luck is true. My luck is real. It can happen. And then, as we struggled through the last fight, the contrast happens here. Because this fight is just one of the easiest fights to ever do.
Yep.
We also get tackled, hit to 1 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep getting guys get closer to 1 HP in general.
Those screech fails, though.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. 4 turns. Easy.
Brock's done. Probably almost a faster fight than Nitto doing Brock.
Yeah, because of double kick animations. And the hit 2 times.
And that's when things got knocked into 12th gear.
To be honest, the entire Route 3 and Mount Moon section is very quick, very simple.
Mm-hmm. It's like having
you click
Squirtle.
a button.
You have a Pokemon that has a special move at a point where the game doesn't expect you to. So you just click, just delete everything.
And if I'm reading through my notes correctly, confusion all the way through Jesse and James.
Good thing we have 25 PP of this move.
Exactly.
Oh, super effective on Weedle's poison. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower, but it also does guarantee that we don't have to deal with crits. Also, I believe the crit on the Caterpie there wouldn't have guaranteed Noko, which is why I did 2. If I remember correctly.
Like there was no range at which it kills.
Let's see. I've opened the folder so much that it just automatically opens, or just shows in my most recent. All right.
It looked like you had to pause a sec there to avoid a quick attack.
Yes.
Smacked Ekans.
The Rattata, yeah, the Rattata would have killed us with a little bit on the first couple of frames, I believe. Also, yes, all of the Caterpies, the max roll was a 93 and a 93, yeah. And the Rat would have done 7 damage to us. And we're at 6, so...
And Butterfree, also, like, a huge reason why this TAS is annoying is that the XP curves of Butterfree are so much worse than...
yeah, it's medium fast.
Yeah, which is slower than medium slow until level 50-ish. Remember, like, the early...
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why, like, one of the big reasons why Nidoran is so good is that the medium slow XP curve that he's on gains experience faster than other Pokemon through the early game.
Gotcha. So then, like, by the time, like, I'm level 50, you're already level, like, 52 or 53.
Yeah, something like
or
that.
something similar like
it
that.
It might be caught up by the, like, mid to late 50s, but it's,
Mhm.
like, way ahead until the 40s.
Gotcha. All right, let's see.
Oh, didn't quite get the kill on Caterpie there. But it's fine because you were managing your red bar, looks like.
That was the goal of it. Yeah, it was... What did I use? Oh, wait. This Caterpie. Yeah, also, it would have been a crit, so I just said, all confusion, and then just tackle it to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have to learn all 3 of the powder moves, which is a very slow...
Oh my goodness. I'm like watching this like, oh no. You have to keep...
Yeah. That grass was really unfriendly to me for encounters. I remember that.
It looked like you had to use a lot of A presses there.
Yeah, it just kept... It was like, hey, you're going to get an encounter here. No, here. No, here. I remember in my very first version of this, because I thought that this was very similar to Red, I accidentally picked up the upcoming escape rope because I didn't realize that you don't need it to get out of Bill's house. You have to walk.
Mm-hmm.
The A presses prevent encounters in general, or the RNG of the encounters actually appearing, if I remember correctly.
Is there a reason you
Hopefully
get both of the rare candies? Is the ranges again?
So it just helps a lot with I believe some of the Oko ranges on some of the Route 24 and 25 Pokemon early game aren't guaranteed without a crit, and I also just felt that rare candies were good enough, and that Starmie also with 2 rare candies was a much cleaner chance of not killing us, rather than having to hunt for 10,000 years for the exact 1 damage or 1 health remaining strat for it.
Yeah, definitely.
To be honest, I could probably get rid of both, but
yeah, if you rewrote this again, like I think that would be the first thing to look at would be getting no rare candies.
But to be honest, I don't feel like rewriting this. because I'm gonna have to find more Gen 1 misses later on, and I don't want to do that.
Well, I imagine it would just be like, it would be a massive pain through the whole game. Like, with how tight everything must be with you being a really low level, I could see one of them potentially being useful. Both, it might be hard to argue, because the Mount Moon one is a long extra walk. I would have to save a lot of time.
If anything, I would get rid of the Moon one and just use the Cerulean one. Yes, this is a meme category.
This would be called category extensions if it were not the TAS system.
Yeah.
The TAS system, it's just like, we don't accept this. this
in RTA,
no, but I think it's cool.
I think that this would probably be no shorter than 215, to be honest. You need a lot more X items. You need money items. You need just prey strats, basically. You need Dugong to not be an absolute destroyer of air dreams. Oh yeah, we almost ran out of PowerPoints here, and so I had to in my notes I didn't realize I was almost out. And when I got to the Meowth, I had 2 left. And I needed 2 for Meowth, but also 1 for coughing. So I had to switch my strategy to a tackle crit into confusion in order to ensure that I could actually kill everything optimally. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see more tassing like this, where it's not seen as like you have to task only the main categories of games, but the task community and like at large tends to be extremely serious and like only focus on
the super serious ending percent routes or the super hackable like glitch heavy runs.
Or like crazy play arounds or
yeah, but not like stupid memes like this.
Yeah, like
where the meme has been.
You wouldn't see somebody like TAS ditch Bill or ditch your mom in Let's Go.
Can you TAS in those games?
Oh, swag PC.
Oh yeah, that's the first one of many.
I don't think you can yet, but there was advancement in the ability to TAS on, I think it was the Switch emulator Yuzu recently. Citra would be the 3DS one. I don't have any close understanding of either of those.
Citra honestly is just, in my opinion, not that good.
I think you might have missed something there on the center. At the end of the center text, you're supposed to hold B for the last bit of text to get to you faster. Oh,
well then there's some more time save. Butterfree is the most serious category with the most serious people. Yeah, very serious. Also, you have to try to learn Supersonic here too, which also sucks.
You learn
and then
so
we
many
get
moves.
Bide.
But then you actually
we
need
get
to learn
Bide.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, this is tool assisted silliness. I like it. Get ready for some fun. The Misty fight itself was interesting to do.
My body is ready, Ranger Squid.
All right, what were my rolls on this? Oh gosh.
Okay. Goldeen down. Goldeen.
Honestly, Goldene's one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time.
I hate it because of that Goldeen noise when you get like a Pokeball that has Goldeen in it in Smash.
Oh, yeah. Goldeen.
Yeah. That's what I was going for there. But yeah, like it's you're like, oh, I hope I get Blastoise or something, and then no, you get Goldeen.
Oh yeah, Gen 1 Miss Watergun, by the way. It's a tackle miss.
AX1011. So I guess you can say things are getting pretty serious. Yes. I freaking love Napoleon Dynamite. Dude.
Also, the confusions were 2 1 out of 39 rolls.
Okay.
On the Staryu. The Starmie, that
to
was
get hit
a
exactly to 1 while the
36 and 27. The 36 was a... I forget. Or 26. Oh. Yeah, so we get hit to 1, and we have red bar for almost the entire bridge in Route 25. We just get hit like 1 or 2 more times.
Sweet.
And we just keep it for the whole time.
Now, is Butterfree able to learn Bubble Beam?
Unfortunately, no. That would have saved a significant amount of time on some parts.
Interesting.
It would have saved time on the hiker. The 2 hikers we face.
Mm-hmm.
And then not many. Actually, Blaine would have been. Oh God, if we could learn Bubble Beam, it would have saved us. Oh,
A lot of time.
Blaine's a stupid gym leader. We'll just say that.
X1, I think you're just jealous because I've been chatting online with babes all day. I freaking love Napoleon Dynamite. Anyway, I also love killing the Sandshrew. Is this Sandshrew gonna get Shrek'd here? Yes!
Sandshrew sucks.
I love killing the Sandshrew in 1 hit.
It does get shot in 1 hit, which is
so
wonderful
terrible
to see.
in the main speedrun. I tried so long to figure out a way to like get water gun just for it, but there's nothing you can do in RTA that's faster.
And then we get a lot of very simple fights coming up because the trainers just don't have many good Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just call it that.
Yeah.
It's all about PP management because there are some parts that we have to use Tackle instead of Confusion. Mainly just because we want enough Confusion to kill things that can't die to Tackle or, maybe aren't very affected by it, such as Geodudes or Onyxes coming up. The only notable one is there's a last coming up that you have to tackle instead, and there's interesting ideas with that. I think I changed it up in the actual task though, because my notes were a basic idea, and then I changed it from there.
Gotcha.
Oh yes, so we change it to the quick attack here at the Rattata to TAS for 6 damage to 3 HP instead of the Pidgey coming up hitting us down. Don't remember where else we get hit, but we get hit 1 more spot before the end of this whole thing.
$12.11. Welcome by the stream. Thank you. We are currently doing a commentary / verification of a TAS speedrun of Butterfree Alt Main in Pokemon Yellow. That Ranger Squid.
Also, is Gust able to miss?
I don't believe so. I think Gus is 4100.
Okay, then I think I just had a Gen 1 Miss Pidgey. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't realize.
That's fun.
forgot some of the stuff I did so long
Oh
ago.
yeah, by the way, just throw a Gen 1 mist here, Gen 1 mist there. Don't worry.
I mean, if I honestly, I gotta count them up in this whole thing. I gotta see how many I had in total. There's at least 15.
There's a lot, I'm sure, because there's the ones just like there's 2 immediately. The first fight is 2, and then...
There's 2. There's 9 more there. 1 more. So that's
it's
13.
9 in the Lightyear guy
or
fight.
12.
Wow.
Lightyear guy, yeah. So 9, 2 in the beginning, 1 at the Pidgey. Oh, there's 1 in the Staryu.
That's 13.
That's 13. There's 1 in the Aerodactyl at the very end. So that's 14. There's at least 3 or 4 in the Silphco rival fight. And I think that's it that I can think of right now. That's like 18, I think. And so we grab the Sandshrew here for our Scratcher, or for our Cutter, and for our Strengther. Actually, no, he's just using Cut and Dig, because then we have Squirtle later on for Strength and Surf. And we face this Hiker for the Elixir that he has, because we have not enough power points for everything, because later on we only use Psychic and another move, and later on we'll get to that, because that's going to be the spicy stuff. This honestly has just been a lot of fun to work on. It's been like a fun little like, hey, let's work on this for a little bit. Okay, we're good now. Let's go play something else.
I was just checking the GDQ announcements. They put in a ton of Pokemon randomizers. There's a
Really?
Shen Chrism Crystal Key Item randomizer. Oh wait, is it 3? No, it's 3. It's Shen Keys and Chrism in a Crystal Rando race. And then Wartab doing ORAS and Truly doing ORAS. Oh, so it's 2 races. Truly versus Wartab.
Oh, that should be fun. Clearly, I should submit this task to all the different speedruns, to the speedrun marathons. You know what? I might do that.
Cool. There is 1 TAS in the run or list.
RPGLP, I'll fly on senior catch. RPGLB, I've never heard of it.
RPG Limit Break. It's a good one.
Oh.
Good conference. Strizer86 is doing a task showing of Castlevania Chronicles for the PS1. Never heard of Strizer, but
They haven't updated since August of 2020.
interesting. Strizer86 definitely. Oh, streamed 6 days ago.
Ooh, Storms is playing in the Cinco Bingo tournament again.
Oh, cool.
He's been doing that for like 3 months now, which is insane. And okay, so this is the last trainer. So at this point, we have 3 confusion PowerPoints left, and that's it. And so after this trainer and the Bill stuff, we have to center, and then we leave Cerulean finally, and we don't come back. Actually, no, we do come back once, but just to cut through some bushes and go a different way. We also grab the Ether here. I have about like a 5-second delay, so sorry for the commentary delay.
No worries, no worries.
And we get to actually help Bill out, even though he can help himself and do it himself. Just stand on your chair, click the A button, and run over. You can do it yourself, Bill. Yeah, I'm gonna mess up the end of the PC here. That's fine.
Yeah, you see there's that little pause before it displays the text. If you hold B, it does the same thing as like when you're doing Screech, and it shows the text like right away.
Oh. I didn't know you could do that for Screech and stuff like that.
I think you
Well,
did.
now I know more.
I thought you did it for Screech a couple times earlier. Maybe it was because you had to fail text. So yeah, it might not affect the TAS as much.
The button fail text, yeah.
Yeah. But like in RTA, if you get screeched hit, then you can hold B and the second half of the text will show up faster.
Oh, okay. So, in this whole run, the conclusion of it is that psychic types are terrible to face with any Pokemon that has good special.
Yep.
Because you have to use other moves, which takes just as long, because they're still as bulky.
Right. So like Tackle sucks, and Psychic or Confusion also sucks here because it's really tanky and it's half as effective.
Let's see.
So you have no good options.
The Drowsy itself, Confusion would have been a 4-shot with 4 crits, or Tackle would have been a 3-shot with any crit damage. That's the conclusion you can come from. So at this point, we do have our full health again, and we're going to be keeping that for a little bit because we need that for Surge. Now, previously, I did use the full restore I get here, but I figured that saving that full restore and not having to buy one at the very end of the run was much faster. And so we're not going to have red bar for a total of 4 fights before Surge. And in total. Also, I don't know how to talk to that trainer quicker. Honestly, that whole part is just annoying. Also, all of these Pidgeys do not die to a regular Confusion. It's an 82% max roll, so they all have to get crit.
Gotcha. That's cool. Well, slower, but good to know about.
Yeah. And then the Eradicate coming up is a 21 out of 39 range, which isn't actually too bad.
Mm-hmm. Close to like 75%.
Yeah. Which is still pretty good for any tasks of just finding the actual ranges. Also having to avoid any quick attacks because we want to stay at full health. Which was another annoying part of this part. Okay, and then we go to the boat. which originally was really fun, but I decided to go just faster. My original idea was to have the Eevee hit itself in confusion, and when I was trying to just make a faster version of this entire run, I just concluded that it was better to have the Eevee just die in 2 shots. Also, yet again, another Sandshrew dying, and we're all happy about this because Sandshrew sucks. Anytime a Sandshrew dies, another person lives in the world. And we have defeated the boat rival. And now, once we get cut, we are on to Surge, which is the last time we will be using Bide. Even though it is very fun to use, it's about time we retired the meme.
I'm really wondering if I think what you would want to do. You were saying some of the ranges don't get hit on Route 25. What you could potentially do then is not get either of those rare candies, and do the route before Misty. Like do the bridge and Route 25.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then center, and then do Misty. So you have like only a short section where you're in green bar, and then you'd get red bar again for this whole section where you currently don't have it.
Yeah, that actually is not a bad idea. I would have to figure out how to restore HP for Surge, but
so
yes,
you could use
that would
Bide
be.
for, like, is Bide just way better than like, I wonder how long it would take.
Oh god, yeah. Confusion is a 4-shot, and Bide itself takes 3 turns. It also gets us down to 1 HP in general, so.
Yeah, I think you might have PP concerns, but otherwise it's an interesting idea.
It's not a bad idea, and every Sandshrew death that Beedrill gets their wings. Yeah, no, Beedrill sucks though, so it will never do that TAS. That TAS will never happen. Unless casual Poke player comes out of retirement and does it.
Well, I mean, you don't want to have PP concerns.
Struggle strats actually wouldn't be bad. Also, this can manipulation was really weird to do. But it worked.
But casual poke player, I thought that all TAS videos judges went into retirement when they started judging because it's so much work.
I haven't done a custom starter Beedrill either.
I kid.
Alright, this is the fun part.
Oh, that's fun. You have to
love
get the
watching this.
growl fail because you do Bide second because Raichu is so fast.
Mega Punch into Mega Kick into 1 HP and Unleash. And you're over.
Nice.
Easy. And then we get some easy trainers. We also get a little bit of menuing here, which is kind of fun. We do our last big menu before Rock Tunnel and before Celadon before we do a lot of stuff. Oh, yes, we have to listen to the chairman. course. I'll be honest, I hated doing this part of it because I don't feel like reading this text. Because it just sounds like some guy who's just like way too obsessed with his Rapidash. But seriously, casual Poke player, do a Beedrill Yellow run. Make it happen. And now we have Squirtle, our Surfer and our Strengther. So here we dig out. Deke. And then here we get the bike. Which I actually figured out that the top path here is much faster. Or it's not that much faster, but it's faster enough to warrant using it. So we move the Pokeball down. We go back up. We move the Ether up. We go on the bike. And then we go down and cut the tree. It's going to look weird, but we use the Ether in Rock. So we need to move it up so that we save a few inputs. And also, we're already down by... down at the bottom of the bag anyway. So we might as well just go back up and have use for it.
Nice.
And then this trainer and the next are very, very easy. And then we get two trainers that suck everything out of me. And what is Boxel 2?
So
Is that a game?
Boxel's a puzzle strategy game.
Okay.
Like, you just move blocks around to cover switches and stuff. So I assume Boxel 2 is the same concept.
Boxel game. Oh, it's a Game Boy game from 1989. Oh. With a 5-hour-long TAS? Oh my gosh.
Yep. Probably the single longest console verification of a published TAS on TAS videos.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look up Boxel 2 now. Boxel 2 was a game for the Game Boy. Boxel 2 does not have an article on Wikipedia. Nice. Oh, it hasn't even been published yet. Alright, so now we get the Rock Tunnel. And the Rock Tunnel has some Pokemon that aren't very nice to Butterfree. Because the only move we have against Psychic types is Tackle right now. And we have to deal with Slowpokes. And Slowpokes are not fun. Slowpokes have a lot of HP, have good defense, have good special. So the only way that we can get through them, well, we have two different ways. We can use a lot of confusion or we can use a lot of tackles. We also have to make it miss a bunch of moves. Although it doesn't have to be Gen 1 misses though. So this one we tackle or confusion times 4. Which it's also crits too, or sorry, 3 crit confusions into 1 non-crit confusion. All while having Slowpoke not disable us, which actually happened a lot more than I expected to. And then during all this, we also had to manipulate no encounters. So there's going to just be a bunch of A-presses randomly. And then this Slowpoke, because of the fact that we are going to be lower on power points up until the hiker, we need to tackle times 5 in order to guarantee that we actually can get through this part. Also, these are tackle crits for 17 damage each, which is... Let me look at the 17 is a 14 out of 39 range. I don't know what that is in math, but that's the long story short of it. You need a lot of them.
39 is pretty close to 40, so it's like it's pretty close to
Just below half.
+1 times 2.5. So like 14, you go like 15 times 2.5 would be like 37.5%.
Okay.
So like
Yeah, that's about right.
Let's do my check. I was off by about 1%.
Kevin, how dare you? You're supposed to be a calculator. You're supposed to know this stuff. But this last is very easy to deal with. And then just before the hiker, we're going to be using the ether that we scrolled up to, or we moved up in our inventory, in order to guarantee that we can get through the next 3 trainers without running out of confusion power points. Because right now we have 0.
Gonna love seeing TAS videos YouTube the day that gets published. What is this monstrosity? 5 hours of pushing boxes.
5 hours of pushing boxes. It's not interesting. This is at least interesting. Also, the best part about this hiker is that the Geodudes, each of the hits are crits. So in an RTA run, this hiker would literally be like X special and confusions, and you would have to pray that it doesn't use a rock move. Also, we got a Gen 1 miss Graveler there. Gen 1 miss self-destruct because it's faster, which I learned from watching your video. So that adds to our list of Gen 1 misses. So far we have 2, 11, 12, 13, 14 Gen 1 misses. We'll keep a tally going. Oh. And then we're almost at my favorite part of this entire run, hands down. And I'll explain it because we'll have plenty of time for me to explain the exact entire scenario. We also grab the max ether here. And we face the gambler here because he's just quicker. Although I never checked out the last there, if she was actually going to be faster or not. So I might check into that in the future, see if it's a better option. We also go back down to lower HP at 4, just so that we can guarantee that we have red bar for a little bit longer when we level up a few more times in Lavender Tower.
Did you do a comparison against the double Jigglypuff? Or is it Jigglypuff?
No, I have not done the comparison against the Jigglypuff yet. If I plan to reroute it, I would look into that, of course.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Here,
Vulpix there has like tons of special.
Yeah, it's a 2-shot, but I feel like the Jigglypuffs could be faster.
Yep,
Also, this elixir straight up took me at least 20 minutes to find because I had to count every single tile slowly, and I kept losing count.
Oh no.
Okay, so now we're at my favorite part of this entire run. So we're going to go to the casino. We're going to do some illegal gambling because we're 10 years old. We can go to the casino. We're allowed to in Japan, I guess. So
we're in very old video games.
We're in very old video games.
Kind of
yes.
like how the movie Airplane is rated. Is it G or PG? It's like there's just straight cleavage. Like it's like adult themes all over the movie, and it's like this is not the correct rating for this movie, people. Same with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay, so to explain, while we have 10 minutes of time, literally 10 minutes, When we enter the casino, there is a number between 1 and 35 rolled.
Mm-hmm.
That number determines which slot machine is your quote unquote lucky slot machine.
Mm-hmm.
In the casino itself, there are 3 modes. There's in one slot machine when you play, there are 3 modes. There's mode bad, mode good, and mode super.
Mm-hmm.
Mode bad is basically you don't win anything. Mode good is you win the basic prizes, you don't win anything too crazy, and mode super is you win the bar and the triple sevens. When you have your lucky slot machine, your odds of getting the mode super continuously go from, I believe it was 1 or 2 out of 256 to 5 out of 256 on the lucky slot machine. So what we did was we walked into the game corner.
At a
we picked up
precise
10
time
coins.
to get to know the hot slot machine.
Yes, and so we had to look this up via a RAM watch, which thank you, Casual Poke Player, by the way, for all of this help on this. We figured it out which one it is, and then when we click play, that loads the first bit of RNG. And when you click bet how many coins and it says ×3 and you click A on that, that is when the RNG for if you got mode super or anything else. The issue with this is that you need a specific roll on the RAM watch in order to find the 300 the guaranteed win. However, once you find that, you can be in this mode called mode super. Mode super allows you to keep playing and you keep winning no matter how many times you keep going. However, does have at the end of every single play that you do has a 50% chance of not continuing. So, long story short, you have extremely stupidly low odds of all of this 9 minutes of happening to you in a regular run. You have about maybe a 20% chance of winning in general in a regular RTA playing the casino. So good luck trying to get this mode at all. It took a lot. Once we figured out how it worked, it was very easy to find. But then in my version 2 of this, version 1 was about 500 frames faster than this version of the task because I kept getting out of mode super and having to keep finding it again, which is literally 5 out of 256 chances. So if you want to add that onto the Gen 1 misses, there's a lot of that. And that's the long story short of it. I have a better explanation I've written up somewhere for a video I'm making later on all of this experience I have. But yeah, so if anyone wants to go to the bathroom, get a drink, you've got about another 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's funny because the way that the game's programmed, it's like playing into the gambler's fallacy. Like, oh, this slot machine's hot. I won. That means I'm going to win again.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's a 50% chance of not even being in the mode again. And the best part is that you can actually keep testing. Actually, sorry, no, going back for a second. When you try to figure out which slot machine is the lucky one, the one that we went to actually has a 2 out of 36 chance of being the one because it rolls 36, but that also counts for the first one there. If I remember the numbers correctly. There's a video online that perfectly explains it, and then I just go more into detail about it. I'm surprised not many people have found the video itself because it really does explain the RNG of it really well. So yes, as they say, don't gamble because it really is a trap about literally 80% of the time. And yes, this is an intermission, basically. This is the intermission before the good part of this whole run. I decided to listen to my own advice.
And grab a snack.
Grab a beverage, go to the bathroom.
Smart play.
So, the reason we're doing all of this, the best part about this whole thing, we're doing this for one TM. Because every other TM that Butterfree has is bad. Butterfree can learn Hyper Beam. And Hyper Beam guarantees about at least 3/4 of the ranges coming up in the run, if not all of them, versus the other move that we're going to be learning, which is Takedown, which we'll be buying in the shop soon. So, the other moves it can learn are Swift, believe Double Edge. Let me look this up really quick again. So, in Yellow, it can learn Razor Wind, which is just the worst move in the game. Takedown, Hyper Beam, and then Double Edge, Rage, which you literally can be locked into for the rest of the fight, and Swift. Swift is completely out of the way on Route 12, to the right of Vermilion City. Double Edge is in the Game Corner Rocket Hideout, which we do not do because we have the Self Scope, or we use the Pokédoll for it. And then, so you're basically left with Takedown and Hyper Beam. Takedown is bad after a while because you need to be at 1 HP, and in a TAS, you can't be gaining HP or like using a potion and then going back down. You need to stay at red bar so that you save a lot more time. So you only use Takedown in certain situations, and then Hyper Beam, because it has 150 base power in this generation, is your savior of all things. Also, we're almost at our point of winning. We are at 5,356 coins. We will almost be done with this. This whole section is just, quite literally, as SmackDown Soup said, a long intermission. If you're watching this on YouTube and you've gotten to this part, I don't know why you watched 9 minutes of this, but I guess congrats. I rewatched this part 3 times when I redid it myself because I wasn't sure if it was good.
It's definitely a giant meme. It just... I think this is really what like ties the memery together.
Mm-hmm. Like the first part was all bide strats and Gen 1 misses in the like 4th fight into kind of a lull, and then all for Hyper Beam. So actually, funny enough, if you saw at the beginning of entering the shop, we paused for about 100 frames because the guy that was near the entrance to the Hyper Beam spot was actually blocking our way from so many frames that we actually had to wait outside just for him to move out of the way. This section of the rug that ties the... Yeah. Basically. So here I took inspiration from Kevin's Yellow TAS, where you go to the 2nd floor and then you go to the 5th floor just for the fresh water, and then you go down from there. That's what I took inspiration from for this part. And here we accidentally actually bought 2 extra X attacks coming up. So we, instead of 17, we only needed 15, which I didn't realize till the Elite Four. But that's okay. That's fine. And of course, that would have to change depending on the reroute, of course. But from here, we buy only 1 Pokédoll because we don't have enough money. So we also do it for inventory purposes. So there's a reason for that in a little bit. And now, after this, believe... Oh yes, we go and get Fly. In this section, I believe we are at about like we were just over an hour, I believe, or around that general time, because the whole game corner section quite literally took 9 minutes off our time. That would have been great if we could have removed that, but unless we go out of the way for something else that doesn't guarantee the ranges as much. Although the idea of Swift, or even just actually Swift doesn't sound absolutely horrendous, although 60 base power is kind of rough. So here we do one of our biggest menus because we teach Fly. We move all of our X items up. We could literally just move everything around. We teach Takedown, we teach Hyper Beam, everything. We do it all here so that we don't have to worry about it for quite a long time. And the next technical time that we actually use our bag for any inventory purposes is right after the first trainer in Koga's gym. So we've got a little bit before then. Actually, no, sorry. We use it for Psychic here. After this. And it's Jerry. It's Jerry time.
He was whining, so I'd figure I'd steal him for a second. Jerry, you get
That's
to
okay.
watch the self split. Or are
Almost
we
a
just getting
self-split.
psychic? We're getting psychic first, it looks like.
Oh yeah, no. Self-Co is much later in the run now. Originally, it was after Erica and Koga, but I decided to also have it be after Blaine. But we also have the Lavender Town. This is the section where we get to see Hyper Beam at its true power.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because we're going to hit the heal pad soon, so it doesn't matter how many
Yep.
PP we use of it.
Exactly. And besides, what else are we going to hit in here?
Classic mirror move.
And we get to watch Hyper Beam quite literally beam everything into the next dimension.
Yep. So we're getting the benefit right now where Hyper Beam doesn't need to recharge if it kills something in one shot.
Thank you, Gen 1. And that
Based
Magnemite is
Gen
not
1.
a skill type in this generation. And of course, Sandshrew dying is another, as Mr. 2 said, another Beedrill gaining its wings. Sure, why not? And that's basically it. And we get a really nice easy part after this because all the Ghastlies are an absolute joke to a Butterfree with Psychic. And even Confusion would have been quite a bit of damage.
Makes sense.
Yeah, even a Confusion crit guarantees Inoko on all of them. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so when we had the Vulpix hit us quite a bit ago, down about 3 or 4 HP, I believe it was for red bar around here because the red bar around this part was a little bit, don't remember what the red bar is for 86, but let me see.
It looks so nice.
Yeah, it was about 17, 18 HP, so we would have been really close to it had we not done that. And then we get healed here. So now we have no red bar for the next 2 fights. And I believe also for Erica as well. Which does suck, but it is to guarantee that we can get through Koga's section without having to rip my hair out more.
And it's also a lot better than trying to avoid the heal pad. Like, the heal pad skip trainer fight is really slow. So
Yes, that is what you didn't tell me, and I actually wish I had like timed it out for doing the no heal pad versus heal pad and seeing if it would have saved any time. But whatever. Also, the fact that we only had 10 psychic power points really does.
Yeah, so you really need the heal pad because the hyper beam and psychic PP are so critical.
Yeah, we do center after the tower, but that's because we dig out or we fly to Celadon just to get to Erica. So we might as well just center there to make it our teleport spot.
That makes
so
a lot
that
of
when
sense.
we go to Silphco, we can just bike there rather than flying to Saffron.
Oh, you only bought one
Here-
Pokédoll. That seems weird.
It is a little bit weird, but there is a reason.
Okay.
There's a very good reason. So, well, I'll explain in a minute once we get through this fight. So this fight is actually super simple. If anyone
I'm going
can
to take
guess it really
Jerry out a
quickly.
second if you want to keep commentating while I walk Jerry.
Yeah, sure, I got you.
Cool.
Now I'm in control of the chat. Ha 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 ha. Hi everyone. So this fight is really easy. It's just 3 psychics. The Meowth and the Weezing were 2 psychic crits, and the Arbok actually is a high roll. So curse the Weezing for actually being so tanky. But regardless, it is very easy. A lot of the rocket people are just super easy. We only have 1 level up in we have 2 level ups altogether in without red bar, which is not the greatest, but it's better than having multiple more level ups without red bar. So here we get our Pokey Flute, and there's a very specific reason for this. So here we get the Pokey Flute. We have about, I believe, 17 items. And yeah, we have 17 items right now. And we fly to Celadon City. And here, normally, you would... Well, first I center here. And then normally you would go to Erica. However, because it is a lot more optimal to do all of my inventory now, I decided to go to Cycling Road and Saffron Cycling Road / Fuchsia City in the Safari Zone in order to get some items earlier. And also that last there, that little girl, she got in our way multiple times. So here we move the HMO1 for the rare candies. We need the rare candies in a little bit once we get past Erica. And so we need to move them up beforehand. And even if we need to go down to our Pokey Flute, so we just move them up, might as well at that point for something that we don't need. This whole entire next section took quite a while. Here we walk past, and then we go down. Here we get the rare candy. And then we move over to the right. And then we also grab the power PP up here. Which, to be honest, I hate grabbing this thing. It just is so difficult to find sometimes. We move over back to the right so that we avoid the trainer here. Or the trainer 5 seconds ago, because I'm watching it 5 seconds in the past. And then we move down. And then we keep going all the way to the Safari Zone, which I did find out that cutting trees is very slow in Pokemon Yellow. So going all the way around is much faster than anything else. So here, we also toss TMO9. We use the PP up. And we use the bike. This is so that we have 18 items still. But then when we get through all of the Safari Zone, we get HMO3 and the gold teeth as well. And then we can dig out and bike to Erica. Erica will not give us her TM for Mega Drain, which was originally used in the in the original version of this TAS. And here we don't do really any inventory management. We've done a lot, so we just bike. I'll be honest, this section was a little bit rough to do, but it worked. Now we're going to dig out of here, and then we are going to bike to Erica's gym. And Erica's gym, don't worry, it's really easy, and it's not anything too crazy. Also, one of the other worst Pokemon in this game is an Execute and Executor. They are really annoying in how much bulk they have, and they're just grass psychic types, so the only thing that really works for us to use against them is Hyper Beam. So we have to wait a little bit for a Hyper Beam crit that will actually kill them. And also, remember that there were a few Hyper Beam misses in the first few frames of that fight, which really sucked. So here, Tangela is really tanky and is also not a poison type. It's the only pure grass type in this generation. So it takes 2 psychics, and the Weeping Bell and Gloom both only take 1 psychic, but they're crits. Which is why this fight a little bit annoying, but it's probably one of the easiest fights in the game, excluding like Brock and stuff. We also had Bind Miss, which is very easy to do.
I saw the Erica fight starting as I was walking back.
Yep. So to explain the one takedown TM usage, so we had 20 items at the end of Lavender Tower with the Pokey Flute. So we deposit 1 and use the PP up, or we grab the PP up and the rare candy on Cycling Road after Lavender Tower.
Okay.
And then we go into the Safari Zone, and we also have to get the Gold Teeth and HMO3.
Right.
We have to use the PP up and the toss an item just to get those other 2 items, so that Erica does not give us the TM for Mega Drain.
Mm-hmm. So you've got like a lot of other items floating around because you didn't use Thunderbolt or Ball Beam too, right?
Yes, we also have those in there, which does cause a little bit of management issues.
Interesting.
So this fight, this is a really interesting 2 trainers coming up here just to get to Red Bar. So this Drowsy, we have Takedown ×2, the first time using Takedown. And if you notice that we also get hit with that, we get hit with Recoil, and then we get hit down to 71 HP. Then Drowsy comes out, we just kill it with a Hyper Beam, because we don't want that thing hurting us. We want something else hurting us, because it does a lot more damage. Then we have Kadabra, who will hit us for a Confusion hit down to 46 HP. We hit Hyper Beam, because that thing will literally die to anything physical. We level up here, which is unfortunate, and then we kill with another Hyper Beam.
Mm-hmm. So like you're combining things like getting outsped and not killing in one hit with Takedown to get some red bar management, and then you're doing more red bar management when you fight the next one as well, because you also have to fight this Hypno.
Yes, we also rare candy twice, I believe here, or once. We also don't learn Side Beam because we don't need it at this point. Yeah, we only rare candy once here because we need the inventory so that we don't get an item from Koga, because it does save some time not getting TM06 Toxic, because he does talk a lot.
TM6
So
PSR.
this TM, yes, exactly. So Hyper Beam just kills, and then this Hypno coming up is stupidly bulky. Like, this is really, really annoying. So we take down, go down to 41 HP. It headbutts us down to 1 HP, and then we kill with Hyper Beam, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yep. And that is how we have red bar for nearly the rest of the run. I believe there's one other section that we have to manage our red bar, but it's not too bad. And then Koga's actually a little bit scary on the Venomoth because the Venomoth is so fast versus Butterfree. And also, all of the Venonets actually require a crit to kill, and you can't kill them in a regular hit whatsoever. So you have to see the crit text and the super effective text. A little bit slow, but it's the only way to ensure PowerPoint management, because at this point, I believe you've used all your Hyper Beams, and you're about to use all of your Psychics.
Yeah. It's good that you have super effectiveness against a lot of these pokes, or it'd be difficult to one-shot them.
Oh yeah, it would be horrible.
Oh, you can't even one-shot the Venomoth here.
You can't. Even crits. Let me find it.
Well, I saw you did a crit there and it didn't even fully kill. Oh, one thing I've noticed, just to remark in general, I think you're not quite using this to its full advantage. If you have something that you can kill in 2 hits, you want to do the smaller amount of damage the first turn and the larger amount of damage the second turn, because if it never changes the HP bar color
I
into
see.
a
I see what you're
certain color,
saying.
it's better. Like, I
Yeah.
think there were some times you might have been able to avoid it going into red because you could do like small, large instead of large, small.
Yeah. Also, the psychic crits are 51 to 60% range. So, and then normal crits are 28 to 33. Also, here is our next biggest menu where we teach both strength and surf. Unfortunately, strength and surf order I should have changed a little bit, but it's the order that you put it in the move order. So I would have done surf first and then strength. We toss the nugget. We go up to the elixir. We go over to strength to get ourselves this rare candy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really complicated menu, but it makes sense.
Does that menu not wrap where you could press down from the 4th slot to get to the 1st slot? I can't remember
I didn't
for some reason.
check. Oh, to go to Squirtle there?
Yeah.
You can go up there. I realized that when I was in Victory Road. So
yeah, it looks like there were a couple there where
time
you might have been able to go up and down faster.
Yeah, of course. Well, I definitely have time save in the future.
Meme time save.
Also, this whole section, you don't need to press A once. That's what I love about this water.
I do love the water. The mansion here isn't too bad either to manipulate.
It's a little bad. Not too bad for me though.
Yeah, it's like
But
slightly bad. It's not crazy hard, but it's still annoying.
Yes. What was I gonna do?
It's really annoying when you're trying to do it really, really optimally for like a submission task.
Yeah.
Because you want to try to stretch the water being so nice to you pretty deep into the mansion before having to press A.
Also, after the mansion, we will be also grabbing both of the... Sorry, in the mansion, we're going to be grabbing both of the candies and the secret key The reason why we tossed the nugget back in the warden's house was because we needed to pick up the secret key. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have had room for it. So it just was like little things like that I realized I didn't realize until I got to them. I'm like, oh, I need to actually toss something about a couple thousand frames back. This sucks.
Mhm.
And then we get Blaine. Blaine sucks in so
Yeah.
many ways.
It looked like it sucked from watching the high-speed version of the test.
The high speed version is a great version to watch versus this. So here we fly back to Cinnabar, and we're going to also swag question everything because, look, we're already in the memes. We might as well meme it up.
Maximize the memes.
And that was my very fun part of it all that I love doing. Also, I was listening to the task commentary from Kevin from a couple years back, and if you swag to the direction that you're going to, in a sense, save a frame of having to move that way. So I made it so that I still swagged, but I turned it in the way that also saved me time unintentionally.
I'm not sure if that's actually true. Like, I might have been wrong when I said that.
Well, well, even if it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really, really clean when you can swag to a direction and then just straight walk that way.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm going to look to the right now. No, I'm going to look to the left. Also, one of the questions was Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. Technically, this is not true. Caterpie evolves into Metapod. Eventually evolve into Butterfree, yes. And then we get Blaine. Oh, this whole section sucks. Actually, this and not the next fight after this, but the fight after that are horrendous in so many ways. So this fight, you have to X speed. Oh, well, I'll let you just watch this.
There are a lot of X specials being used right now. That's a lot of X specials being used right now. That's a lot of X specials being used right now. Okay. Was that 5 X specs? That was crazy. Okay, level 36 now. Oh no, that means you lost your badge boosts. You still outspeed though, because you used X speed.
Where do you want them?
Oh god. Special drop. Oh my god, you had to get the special drop to two-shot the Arcanine.
It's laying on top of it.
That's funny.
All of the pages.
Tail Whip Fail, the real hero of this run. And some more. Ooh, triple candy used to hit 40. I like that. That's going to be a lot more damage. And we're cycling. And now we're going to do the self section.
Okay. So yes, you needed 5x specials and an X speed just to kill Blaine.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then the special drop from Psychic on Arcanines that you could finish the two-shot.
It literally does not guarantee a 2 KO even with crits or with any regular damage roll.
That's crazy.
It is so bad. So here, also, I never counted really badge boosts into my damage calcs because I just assumed I would level up and everything. So whenever I level up in fights, I heard you say like, oh, you lose your badge boost though. I'm like, well, I guarantee anything no matter what. So this fight is real easy. It's a psychic non-crit, 38 out of 39 range. And then we get the rival fight.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Are we in for some special
I had about
Sauce.
6 hours of footage that I recorded.
Okay.
And that's not including any footage or any time I spent offline, which was at least another 4 hours of time versus my version 1 and version 2 of this TAS on the Silph fight.
So you've done Koga, Erica, and Blaine, so you still need to do Sabrina after this too, I assume.
And Giovanni, yes.
Mm.
This fight, so after the boat rival, the rivals have good AI. Sandslash has 4 moves, one of which is super effective against Butterfree, that being Poison Sting. Poison Sting has 100% accuracy, excluding the Gen 1 miss. When you're at 17 HP, you really can't survive maybe even just one Poison Sting. So you need to have it miss. Now, originally in this fight, I had to use like 5x items. So now, have some fun with it. 1.
That was 2.
2.
There's that's 3.
3.
Not bad. Those next 2 were fine. You only had a little bit of a wait on the first one.
The very first one was so to do. And then after this, we Hyper Beam, and Hyper Beam, and then Vaporeon's actually was really interesting to do. It has so much HP. It is insane.
Hey, The Hammer Show. Welcome by the stream.
And then you need to do a Psychic crit for any roll. And then you need to have it miss, Gen 1 miss, Aurora Beam.
Wow.
Into a Hyper Beam kill, which I believe was for 112 damage. Yeah, Hyper Beam, yes. And so since we also grabbed the Squirtle back in Vermilion, we do not have to pick up the Lapras here. So we do technically save time. We also Elixir here because we are low on power points. And then we have the Jesse and James fight, which is not hard whatsoever because we have 3 Psychics. That's it. So yeah, that Silph fight was like the peak of me suffering on this until I got to Lance. And then Lance just became its own nightmare. And now we are level 42, which is wonderful. And then we face Giovanni, who is also really, really easy. Just like Jesse and James. Because for some reason, instead of using actually good Pokemon, all the Rockets and all the admins just use Poison-type Pokemon and Normal-type Pokemon. And there's nothing interesting about that. It's a Psychic non-crit, Hyper Beam crit, Psychic crit, and Psychic crit. That's it.
Not too bad. Persian is
The task time. The task time was 1. Let me see what I messaged you. Did I message you this?
It was like 158. Right?
It was 159.05 task ending, and I believe the RTA was 158.23. And there's Giovanni defeated. Even though we've only beaten him once, he says that he lost again. So I guess he lost to Blue or something, or our rival. So here we dig out, and then we bike to Sabrina's gym.
Yep.
And actually, Sabrina was kind of the most fun I had doing a gym leader.
Sabrina, more like
Abra
Safrina.
Yes. Yes, it really is insane how fast Nidoran is. Although, if you were to exclude 9 minutes of this to be able to glitch getting Hyper Beam, then this would be about a 150. So it would only be about 14 minutes slower.
Or you used takedown earlier, right?
Yes.
Like, I bet you could also do something with, like, adding a ton of extra Gen 1 misses and takedown uses and, like, centering. And, like, I bet that would technically be faster. But it would also not be nearly as good of a meme as using the Game Corner.
Also, we have Abra fail Flash a bunch while we set up X items. And then we Hyper Beam everything because it is insane.
Yeah.
Your idea though, honestly, it would probably be about in like RTA timing 4 minutes faster. But finding all the Gen 1 misses would be absolutely idiotic.
Oh, yeah, it'd be crazy.
And I would once again rip out all my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get Giovanni's gym, which, to be honest, was really, really easy to do. I just realized we're almost at the end of the run. Oh my gosh.
I love watching console verifications. I absolutely love that we did the Butterfree TAS accurately enough to verify it. Like, it's worth the effort.
Yeah. The process of finding Gen 1 misses. Sitting there while you have a video going, while you have your a beverage next to you, and you're clicking insert on a frame for about 100 times. You go back to the original frame, click insert on the previous input, and then do the same process. Consecutive, it's basically just consecutive inputs and hoping that you see the accuracy roll to 255.
Yeah, you're right, though.
That is basically what you're doing.
You're right, though, Tamer, so that, like, if you need to get 2 Gen 1 misses in a row, it's way harder to find than just getting a single Gen 1 miss. Because the previous Gen 1 misses RNG is then necessary, so you can't change it to try to change the later move. Like, what you can do often if you just need like 1 Gen 1 miss at the beginning of a fight is go to the previous inputs. We're like walking before the fight, the text before the fight, all sorts of things, and change those inputs to change the RNG at the beginning of the fight and get that Gen 1 miss quickly. If you need more Gen 1 misses after that, then it starts to get really difficult to find as a human. And we don't have as good of battle botting as Mr. Wint.
Yeah. If Mr. Wint could actually share with us all the battle botting stuff, that would be wonderful to save us time. But, you know.
He has stuff public. I just don't know how to read it. It's like this code is like really complicated.
Also, this Dugtrio cannot hit us whatsoever. So just for the memes, we have it miss a bunch of fissures because it looks funny. And then, of course, Hyper Beam just says hi.
Psychic, super effective.
Yeah, the Nidoqueen is super bulky, but it does only need a non-crit. It's a 15 out of 39 range, and funny enough, the Nidoking is a 13 out of 39 range for a non-crit. So it's a little bit more bulky, despite Nidoqueen's higher HP. Or I don't remember the stat difference. And then Rhydon has to oh, that's right. Rhydon had to miss a rock slide. That's right. So I remember that Psychic is Rhydon is Psychic ×2. But then I forgot that Giovanni also has a good AI. So Rock Slide was the guaranteed move for it. And then, Casual Poke Player, if you're still here, thank you for the assist on this fight because you allowed me to save a lot of time. Also, we rare candy because we don't care about our inventory anymore. We have what we need. We don't need to, we're not going to get any other items. And here, we face against Gary, and originally I had me setting up on the Sand Slash, but because of the good AI, it still has Poison Sting for some reason. And it was going to be about 5 or 6 Gen 1 misses from the Sand Slash. But he thought that using Psychic twice here, well, it hits us down to 1 HP again, or down to 5 HP. And then we set up on the Execute here, allows us to guarantee everything while also avoiding all the powder moves, which were actually very hard to guarantee that they missed. And then here we just Hyper Beam. And then we Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam. Because everything just dies to this move. It's absolutely insane. One Pokemon, I actually have to look up something. And for the absolute meme. Oh, also, here we Psychic again into a Hyper Beam crit. While Vaporeon does not have Aurora Beam only now, it also has Mist and Haze as well. So we have it use Mist because it's the quote-unquote fastest move.
Nice.
Versus a Gen 1 Miss Aurora Beam, which I did not want to look for. And we kill it with a Hyper Beam.
And Haze would have
want
been
to do
terrible,
memes,
right? Because you're setting up X items.
We set up on Execute, yeah. Haze would have prevented us from being able to kill the Vaporeon in one shot with Hyper Beam. For my next secret project I'm going to be doing Pokemon Blue Raticate % for the TAS. Have a good night, Hammer Show.
Yeah,
and
later.
It also learns Hyper Beam, so I could, for the meme, also do the casino for the Hyper Beam.
Nice.
Dab Hyper Beam. Ooh. That actually sounds pretty good. I might just absolutely do that for the meme. So here, I would have to say that the Elite Four itself took longer to route than the rest of the run combined because I had to keep modifying it based on what I did beforehand, both in routing and when I actually started doing the task work. Because, for example, the HP that I was at the end of the Viridian rival fight changed from my original plan, and I had to change what I wanted one of the Pokemon to do to me in Agatha specifically. And here we have the next 3 to 5 minutes of absolute boringness because we're just using strength and we're pushing a boulder back and forth. And I didn't want to learn how to swag boulder. So unfortunately, this is not an interesting section in any way. Otherwise, I would have swagged every single boulder possible and lost about maybe 300 frames or whatever. Also, I remember when I was working on the routing of this, Shiru came by my chat and suggested that I use Mimic on Butterfree, and I'm tempted to add that to the reroute at some point. Feel like that could be a really fun little addition for the Elite Four itself, for maybe just like Lorelei or something.
Yeah, I think that's a thing used in... If you look at the way that the RTA Pikachu % run is routed, that would probably help routing a lot, because I think that's one of the tricks used. I think, like, is it Mimic Fissure on Giovanni? If that makes sense.
It's actually... Whoa, actually that would help with Giovanni and Lorelei and anybody else with Oko moves or whatever. I don't know how
Right.
many others have it, but
Yeah.
that would be much faster. Also, some of the movement there in the last floor was because encounters were being really annoying when going right, so I moved down instead, and it saved a bit of time. Along with presses I still have to do. Yet, Victory Road was just not nice to me in terms of the encounters.
Boulder moving is so slow, too.
Oh, it really is.
Frickin' game.
If there's one section I wish I didn't have to do every time, it would just be this. Also, the lag on it is really bad sometimes. Like the last move on the boulder there. Also, we pick up the full restore here, and that is our second full restore that we need. And now we're at the Elite Four.
Interesting.
And this section just gets spicy.
It sounds like it's
what
going
I'm
to get
gonna say.
spicy.
Well, we basically did bot it to avoid encounters, Mr. Pokey Player. So here we deposit everything because we don't need these other shit Pokemon. They were just our HM slaves. We don't center. We don't need anything at the mart. We
Don't
just
save.
go.
Don't need to... We don't need to save for the Elite Four. We're TAS.
Who would need to save? So normally Lorelei's Dugong is a problem in many RTA runs, even maybe the TAS run. But for us, it's really easy because it just uses rest. And it doesn't take much to find these times when it uses rest. So we can just manipulate to say, hey, use rest, while we set up a bunch of X items. And the reason why we use so many is because the Slowbro is, excuse my language here, fucking tanky, and it doesn't die to anything. Also, here, we had a Dugong, because we didn't want it to rest, we had it miss a takedown instead in order to guarantee that it wouldn't go back to full HP.
Dude,
So,
I cannot
this
imagine
Slowbro
routing
coming
this.
up.
This looks insane to route.
Oh, this was horrible. The Slowbro, you have to get a Psychic special drop, or no, Psychic times 3. Because with a Psychic special drop, it doesn't even die to 2 hits.
Yep. Wow.
So, yeah, it's...
And crits are irrelevant when you're
horrendous.
stacking up X boosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in Gen 1, it, like, removes all boosting when you do a crit.
It ignores every single stat boost of every kind, whether it's negative or positive.
Where the later gens only ignore negative boosts when you crit, right?
Also, we have Lapras Blizzard Mist, too. That's another fun little one. And then the next 2 Elite Four are 2 of the easiest battles in the entire game. It is not hard in any way. All we do is a Max Ether on Psychic.
Oh, I'm sure
because we
Bruno
need
is
to get through.
easy because you have Psychic types.
We
Machamp?
literally do not even have to X item.
Who needs Machamp?
And yes, Hammer, you're still passing out slowly. It's only been 6 minutes. If you want to stay up for maybe 5 more, we'll almost be done. So yeah, literally, this whole section was Lorelei up to half of Lance was done in one go, one night, and then the rest was done in another night. So, and also all of these The Hitmons have 30 special, by the way. They are worse than Caterpie in the special department. That is how bad they are. It did not teach Psybeam at one point. At that point, we had Psychic, and we didn't need Psybeam. Although it would have been a consideration in general. We didn't need it. It would have been an idea, but the 65 power versus 90 was not the most beneficial. And also, we max Ether again because Agatha sucks. And at this point, also, we haven't used our elixirs yet because we haven't used Hyper Beam. We're not going to be using Hyper Beam in this next section. We're just going to be using Psychic. Yeah, it would be an idea to use Psybeam. That would be another idea for the reroute as well. We've been thinking about a lot of ideas over the last 2 hours for the reroute Lucky Typhlosion.
Ooh, get hit by
Also,
Mega Drain there. That's nice.
Yes. So instead of finding Gen 1 misses, we just get hit twice. It doesn't really matter, though. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Because we're going to be fully healing after this fight.
You could theoretically find Gen 1 misses there and save a tiny bit of time, but, like, meh. I get it.
Like, if you were to find it, it would probably lose you so much time just from finding them on later frames than actually saving you time from the attack missed text. Yeah, just bought the Gen 1 misses. Lucky Typhlosion, why don't you get started on it? I'll give you the BK2 file. You go straight to Agatha, you find it for me.
Oh no.
Also, the Gengars do not die to one Psychic, ever. So, and we have it fail Dream Eater, or miss it.
Lucky, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you were here because your name showed up the same text as the Hammer Show. Welcome.
So Lance is a pain. I'm just going to let the fight play out, and that's all I'm going to do. Because I don't even want to talk over this fight, honestly.
Yeah, I completely missed that somehow, Lucky.
Kevin, I think you're tired.
Slightly. Also, I think that you missed a pause. Did you see that?
Did I miss it?
It seemed like you paused a little bit longer than needed after it got you out of the...
Oh. I didn't... I think that was part... Yeah, actually, I probably did. I could real quick change that. All right. I'm just not going to talk at this part.
Verification, part 2. Recharge. Okay, that's useful. X attack. Leer fail. Okay. 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 Nice. Takedown. Hit us deeper in... Okay. Okay, I like it. And then the classic physical moves against Dragonairs. Like, we used the Earthquake against Dragonair before in the RTA run.
Yeah.
I don't know, this looks like it could be a little bit painful. Ooh. Okay, Psychic crit. Wing attack miss. Okay, there you go.
The one Gen 1 miss, the last one. That probably brings us up to 20.
Can't it miss Hyper Beam or something? What is it?
It doesn't go for it.
Oh,
it only goes for wing attack and fly because of good AI.
Oh, wow. Cool. Cool.
So take down to 1 HP into Hyper Beam kill.
Wow.
That we have 1 HP. However, we heal anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's meant for that we actually survive that takedown hit. Because we need to for...
yeah, because you need to use takedown.
Dragonite.
Interesting.
Yep. There's our last full restore. We elixir. And then the Sand Slash does a lot of work for us because it's very nice and We hate it, but it helps us. Lucky Typhlosion, it, in all honesty, over 3 hours is my guess.
Oh yeah, the theory router.
So here,
that'd be really fun
we
to
have it.
throw into theory routing code.
So we had it hit us for a crit poison sting into a regular hit because the badge boosts are starting to stack up.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to hit us to a certain HP in order to actually, what's it called? I don't know what's words. So this is our last X item. So we go down to 41 HP. We hit this thing for, I believe, 2 psychics. We get hit one more time, down to 26 HP, which is red bar.
That hyper beam with animations.
Oh yeah.
on.
Also, if you are epileptic at all, please look away. Hyper beam is actually genuinely bad.
I might not be too like aggressive flashing. It is some like straight high contrast flashing, but it's not very rapid.
So then we're at 29 HP, which is 1 HP below our red bar amount. And this is also why we had to go there, because we had to take a takedown just to survive it.
Very wow.
And then Hyper Beam into Hyper Beam, because everything dies to Hyper Beam.
This is just like Hyper Beam City.
Basically, if it doesn't die to Psychic, it dies to Hyper Beam. That's the summary of this whole thing. And then
I haven't seen these animations in so long because I play with animations.
I know, I didn't know what the animation looked like because I'd never seen Hyper Beam before.
Oh, this is great.
And then, as always, we go Psychic. I believe it was a Psychic crit for a certain amount of HP, and then we missed again. And then Hyper Beam.
Oh, that's funny.
And we won.
Yay.
And the last level up, of course, to level 55. And that's it. And this came in at a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 5 seconds task timing. And I believe it was 1:58:23 RTA timing.
I'm gonna double check
this
you on that, 'cause those
RTA.
seem a little bit weird, but
I calced it from the first input of new game, and then I did it at the first full frame of white after the after it shows your time and Pokedex and stuff.
yeah.
That's what I saw it as. So I just I put that the number of frames of that into a converter of 59.7225 and got that time. So there's Jay the Butterfree. The God Butterfree. And that's it.
So that would
All
be
that work
task
for just
time
under
end,
2
and now
hours.
this would be RTA time end. Yay!
And that's it. Whew. Godslayer J, indeed. Honestly, this was just a blast to work on all the time. Shout out to Mr. 2, Switch, and Snorms for listening to me vent about this task for months on end, never stopping about it, and just putting theory ideas into the chat just so I could remember them later on during the day. And of course, thank you, CPP, for all your extra ideas on it. And of course, Kevin, thank you too.
Yeah, thank you for letting me show it off here.
Oh, please, this has been... You helped explain some things that also were not in my knowledge sphere. So, like, the beginning, for example,
Yeah.
being able to, like, manipulate the Pikachu specifically, doing certain things throughout the run that I didn't remember exactly why I did it that way.
I got a time of 1 hour 58 minutes and like 54 seconds ish.
For what?
For the task time, because the true task time is a bit weird because of the way that the Game Boy's clock works.
Oh, I got sub 159.
Yeah.
Oh,